and it's time for another big driving day. How did we get this campsite?
And Alysha noticed some wetness inside right away and came out and told me. Boy, it has been a day.
Good morning, guys. So we're all packed up this morning. Luke got us hooked up already. I cleaned up inside and got Chloe ready. And it's time for another big driving day. We haven't had like a big driving day in a while. Anything over like pretty much 4.5 hours to us is considered big because it's a lot of work traveling with a baby, especially when it's travel day after travel day after travel day and she gets, you know, really restless in her car seat and everything like that. But today, Google Maps is telling us that it's gonna take about 5 hours to get all the way up to Sand Hollow State Park again. We stayed there quickly on our way down and we're heading back just for the night to make a little pit stop before we head into Zion, which we're so excited about. But yeah, 5-hour driving day. I mean, it should be pretty good. Chloe seems in good spirits and we're in good spirits and it should be fine. We've got a couple of things to do on the way. We gotta get gas, we gotta dump our tanks. We'll need to stop for lunch and all this kind of stuff and the normal stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna take you along with us. We're heading out of the Grand Canyon and up north into southern Utah.
Just pulled out a 10X here and we're now heading to the Grand Canyon National Park entrance. The sandy dump there, we believe, is free, so we're going to use that, and it's also on the way to the town of Cameron. Google Maps wants us to go through there anyways instead of backtracking towards Flagstaff the way we came and then going up. So we're going to get a sandy dump and go into Cameron the correct way out of this. We're just curious how busy the morning's going to be. We know when we left the previous days, like 2 in the afternoon, it was way lined up. We're curious if in the morning there will be morning hikers lining up or if it'll just be quiet the whole way through and then pick up throughout the day. So fingers crossed we get in quick.
Wait a second.
Nice.
It's empty. That's amazing.
So success. There was only one RV that was just finishing when we got to the Grand Canyon dump station here. They only have one hole for all of the RVs here to use at the sandy dump though. I've got to say there's a lot of nice things about the national parks, but Canada, some of the newer national parks we have multiple lanes with like 2 bays each for the sandy dump station. I couldn't imagine being here at like peak checkout time when there was a lot of RVs because, I mean, sandy dump time waiting for your tanks to fully drain out can take 5, maybe 10 minutes for some people at least. So you got to imagine with the more people coming as that's building up, we got lucky. Now, the Grand Canyon National Park's been here for a long time, and I have to imagine specifically the sandy dump's been here since it started as well. So that's before there's been so many more RVers, let alone in the current years. But I'm just thankful that we're right in line and dumping. And then we're taking the rim drive all the way along. Should be nice and scenic again out towards the Watchtower Way. And then we're back to Utah.
Hello? Man, the elk in this national park area and the national forest outside of it, there's so many. They're everywhere. I bet you he's gonna try and go get a drink of water. We didn't realize it when we went on our hike in our last video, but there were elk hanging out at the trailhead, and the trailhead had one of these water fountain things, and it shows in this picture that the elk drink out of it, which is hilarious. But the water fountain at the trailhead had a cage around it just so the elk couldn't get up and do that because, oh yeah, there he goes, looking for water. Poor guy. It's kind of sad because you want to give the elk some water. He's just thirsty, or she's just thirsty, but you don't want to do that because then they start coming back more and more and becoming pests and thinking that everyone's going to give them water, and it's not good for them, it's not good for the people around here, and they can become aggressive and all that kind of stuff. So poor guy's gonna have to find some water elsewhere.
All right, first pit stop of the day. We're probably about an hour and a half in right now. You can tell we're getting back to Utah though, hey? Look at that mountain range there. All the sand started to turn orange again. I'm wondering if we're getting kind of close to where Capitol Reef would be up and over the hills. I don't know positively, but you can kind of see, right? We were driving down the desert where it was pretty flat on the other side of Flagstaff on the north side, and then all these orange mountain ranges started to come up here. So we're gonna eat up, get Chloe happy, and then we gotta buckle up. Technically we have 3 more hours. We're in the middle of looking into it right now. It'd be 3 hours to go from here out the Utah way we're heading, but there's either the 89A or the 89. Highway 89 would take us through Page, which is right on the river, has a nice dam, and I think that's a pretty popular spot to go. But it adds on 50 minutes to our trip from where we're at, so it's almost an hour. Whereas there's the 89A, but it looks like that's gonna be rural. You go through basically nowhere, no towns or anything, and it looks a bit windy, so we're not sure. Some of you who know this road are probably gonna laugh and be like, you're considering the 89A, and then we're gonna go and get like lost down a dirt road or something silly again. So we're gonna try and do a bit of research, but hopefully all works out well and we get to our destination nice and easy still. Okay, so it actually looks like if we take the 89 through Page, which should be beautiful with the dams, and then go south down towards Kanab to Fredonia that way, it only adds on 15 minutes. So we're gonna do that just so we don't risk running out of gas. Otherwise it's like 2 hours till we see any towns or gas stations, so I hate to be isolated if something were to go wrong, so that's the plan as of now.
Alright, pulled over for gas here in Page, and we didn't know it, but this gas station has an RV and like commercial diesel lane, which is always really nice because sometimes it's tight pulling the trailer in on like the regular car side and cars are trying to get past and all this stuff, but it's nice having this back lane that we can just use and good to go. Yeah, it's a battle. Like, we've made it work a lot, but you gotta worry about tail whipping all the lanes when it's tight. You gotta turn out by the stars, so
head northeast, then turn left.
Yeah, we're just under half a tank of gas here right now. I figured we might as well fill up. That might get us all the way to our destination today, I'm wondering, but if not, there should be more along the way. So when you're doing these drives, you're going through a lot of areas that aren't on interstates. On interstates, you know you're gonna find a lot of truck stops everywhere, but when you're going a bit more rural, gas is important because it goes quick towing. Yeah. And after a big drive, we literally went from Page all the way to Hurricane without one stop. So I'm not sure how long that's been, 2.5 hours or so maybe. We're gonna get Walmart here now, get some groceries, get everything taken care of. And more importantly, I'm gonna try and find a haircut. Walmart has the Smart Styles or whatever it's called. It's where I got a cut last time in Winslow, Arizona. I was gonna do it before we headed out this way, and they closed when it was different than their time posted online. So hopefully I can get a cut here, because then tomorrow we're gonna be packing up, heading right on into Zion. And I don't wanna deal with it in Zion and everything. So hopefully they can get me in here. We'll at least get some groceries, and then we'll be smooth sailing to the campground. Okay, wait, so Walmart didn't have the salon open, so we didn't get a haircut, we just got some groceries. But how did we get this campsite? We didn't know, like today we didn't realize what we were camping in. Like, we didn't even know the site number or anything. I just looked on my phone like when we were getting here. We totally forgot we booked the site. And when we came here last time, we thought that we were gonna be like down in the lower loop and like the kind of crap sites, but check this out. Like, what? Last time we were here, we were like, oh, look at these cliffside sites. That'd be amazing. They're probably gone in the first like 5 seconds of opening. I don't know how we got this, but. Yeah, so look at this campsite here. Originally I had booked it for way down there near the entranceway, and then I seen a different one and come up and I was like, oh, okay. It's at the back side of the campground. I'll just get it out of the way. It's only one night, so who really cares where we get, honestly. And instead, boom, rig and the cliff view that we had talked about when we first came here. We were like, oh yeah, imagine being having a cliffside spot, that'd be the spot we were saying. And then little did we realize we were already booked for this by then. And we got our picnic table spot right here. We can catch a nice sunset in the evening, and it is beautiful. I think it's like 34 Celsius out right now, so maybe roughly 95 Fahrenheit, and it is cooking. Last night at the Grand Canyon we got down to just freezing, maybe a bit below freezing overnight even, and now we're back into like what would be the peak of heat Canadian summers here. So we're gonna enjoy this for the evening, packing up tomorrow, off to Zion already. I'm not even gonna unhook the truck, we're pretty much level. I just put the tongue down onto the block, take a bit of wobble out, and I put down the back stabilizers to take some of that out as well. It's been a huge day, a little over 5 hours of road time, plus then Walmart at the end of everything, and then getting here and setting up, but I still also kind of want to wash the rig. I know you're allowed here. I've seen people doing it last time we were here, and I have a new hose. I bought a spray nozzle, and poor girl, she's gotten dusty over all these desert travels we've done to get back to this point. So I'm gonna have some dinner, relax a bit, and then I think I'm gonna catch an evening RV wash here still is the plan. Boy, it has been a day. Those driving days, they go pretty good. I mean, we listen to some podcasts or music and that kind of stuff, but every now and then just watching the lines, watching your trailer, going through towns, watching your trailer. Mentally taxing, I think, but happy to be here.
Like, look at this spot here. Wow, right down into the valley there. Site 22 is where we're at if you're curious.
And then from our slide windows here, you can even see the reservoir and all the mountains that people are probably out ATVing right now. Amazing sight.
Alright, it's about an hour and 20 or so minutes, but I gave it a quick overall sham down. One thing we did learn is the way we have our metal RV as opposed to like a nice fiberglass outside RV is the way the metal plates come down, they stack on top of each other. So when I first started spraying the hose, a little bit of water actually must have shot up underneath the ripple, and Alysha noticed some wetness inside right away and came out and told me. You'll see a quick thing in the time lapse there. But apparently we looked into it, that's a thing where you don't want to spray directly up, so I started just kind of misting it and spraying it up and down just to wet the walls down before I rubbed it, but not as ideal to wash down as a fiberglass wall, so keep that in mind if you have an RV our style. We should have known that. RV's looking pretty good, truck's looking pretty good. I'm not like a great vehicle washer, I can't say. I'm used to taking care of nice assets in life. Every asset we've owned in life up until this point, we've kind of like, I mean, we took care of our last Class C pretty well, but like everything else I've owned in life, it's kind of, we've owned it, but we haven't like shined it. But looking pretty good, looking good for Zion, and I'm happy to hit the road with it.
Yeah, I'm so glad that our RV is finally clean. It's been like dirty forever, and in Utah there's all this like red sand, and I mean, we're back in Utah now, so maybe now wasn't the best time to wash it. We should have washed it after, but maybe we'll wash it after. Luke, are you gonna wash it after?
Maybe in Canada. Yeah, we were mentioning too that on this whole trip, we've been on the road, we're like 2/3 of the way through our trip or so. I would say we've got a lot of northern USA to do still as we start eventually heading north after Zion and everything else coming up. But up until this point, doing the deserts, doing the red sand, doing Arizona, we haven't had any rain. We haven't had one drop of rain this whole trip. So, I mean, rain and then dust would make it muddy, but like just one day parked with some rain to wash off some of the dust maybe would have helped, but it's been a dry camping season so far this year for us.
We realized also the last time that we were here at Sand Hollow was way back, like the very beginning of our trip.
Yeah.
It was like the first stop that we made that was like an actual like rest break because we were heading down south pretty quick from Canada. But yeah, we were saying how long ago that's felt, but like how more used to our RV we are and backing into sites and stuff. What'd you say? That was like...
Yeah.
When we came here last time, it was our second time or third time?
Third time. We had backed in at Emigrant Springs near Pendleton, Oregon, and we had backed in at Bruno Sand Dunes, Idaho. So this was our third back in site coming to this point. I think we're at 14 or so now. We were only at, this was our third. So we only backed in twice ever with a travel trailer up until this point. So it's really nostalgic looking back and kind of, it's hard to believe that this time's gone by, how much desert we've seen, and now we're going to start doing, I mean, Zion's still Utah, but I would say our dusty desert days are kind of behind us, which we've been looking forward to trees, but it is a little bit sad in my opinion, thinking, not sad, but hard to believe it's gone by.
I'm also going to miss all these desert sunsets. I mean, we're just sitting here now and the sun has just gone behind the hill, and oh my gosh, the sunsets in the desert are just
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, of course we'll get some nice sunsets coming up too in some other areas and back in Canada for sure, but there's something very unique about the desert sunset and it's just so enjoyable. But with that being said, we're going to wrap up this video and we'll see you in our next one when we head to Zion.
Yeah, Zion National Park. Thanks for tuning in there, everyone, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.
See you guys.